مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وبعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This video is to people who are of the Ahmadi religion, who are Ahmadis. Notice from the very beginning, by the way, I'm using the term Ahmadi and not Qadiani because my intention here is not to be rude or insulting or disrespectful in any way, and I'm going to try to maintain a composed and dignified manner and demeanor. My intention here, the purpose of this video, is to call Ahmadis away from Ahmadiyya and to Islam. I believe that Ahmadiyya is not Islam. It is a false religion created by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, and that it is a way away from Islam, to be very honest. And I believe that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is a false prophet. And I'm going to explain to you why I believe this, why the Quran itself says that there can be no prophets after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the ayah that I'm going to quote you is from Surah Ahzab, verse 40, and I know what you're going to say. Most Ahmadis will tell me, look, Farhan, the ayah is, it says in the ayah, Khatam an-Nabiyyin. And Khatam means like the ring, literally translated as the ring. So it does not mean that he is the last of the prophets. No, it means he is the best of the prophets. Right? And this is the argument that they're going to present. Now, whether or not I agree with that is another issue. What I'm going to say is it's a very unique argument, and I don't know how much this has been said in the Ahmadi community, but it has to do with the different qira'at of the Quran. And let me give you a predicate first off, in case people don't necessarily know this, that there's not just one way of reciting the Quran. There are actually many ways, and these are called the different qira'at of the Quran, the different recitation styles or ways of reciting the Quran. So for example, if you know in Surah Fatiha, probably the most famous example of this is we say Maliki Yawmiddin. There's another way of reciting the surah, or this ayah, which is Maliki Yawmiddin. One means like master, one means owner, but they have actually very, very similar meanings, and they both come from the same Arabic root word, Malak, Mim, Lam, Kaf. And so, therefore, actually, you can pronounce different things slightly differently, add a alif, remove a waw, these type things, change the harakat around a little bit here or there, and these are called the different qira'at of the Quran, the different recitation styles. And like I said, there are 10 authentic recitation styles, very, very well documented, very, very well known. And if you're not familiar with this, I recommend that you either do a Google search, you read a book. Actually, I recommend this book, Introduction to the Sciences of Quran by Sheikh Yasir Qadi. There's another book by Ahmed von Defner which is available online called Ulum al-Quran, the Sciences of Quran, or just ask your local sheikh, ask your local murabbi, just anything. It's actually very well known. Unfortunately, it's not known amongst like the average Muslim, but it's like a documented thing. The different recitation styles of the Quran, and each of these styles, by the way, is authentic Quran. Neither of which is more authentic or less authentic than the other. All of them 100% are Quran, so we have to accept them all. So I'm going to show you how one recitation of the Quran has a slightly different pronunciation of a word, which actually changes the meaning a bit. So let me show you this. Check this out. Okay, so this is a screen capture of my computer. What we're going to do is we're going to go here to Warsh, Quran in Warsh, and we're going to open up this PDF file. And the first thing is, if you go on the, oops, I already had it open. If you go to the top right corner, you'll see Al-Mushaf Al-Sharif bi Riwayati Warsh An-Nafi', which translates to the pages of the Quran in quotes or in parentheses, the noble pages by the narration, I guess you could say, of Warsh upon Nafi'. So this is the Quran with the recitation of Warsh. And if you go to page 418, you will see Surah Al-Ahzab, right? The beginning of Surah Ahzab, as it begins, Ya Yuhan Nabiyyu. So it begins like this. And if you look in this this Mus'haf of the Quran, this compilation, you'll see that a lot of these letters are actually highlighted. This is actually because the changes that are from Warsh to Nafi' and back and forth have actually been highlighted so that the reader can actually see the difference. So if you go a few pages forward to page 423, and scroll down to the bottom, you should see the very famous ayah that I'm going to quote here, which is ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. Now notice here, the word is not Khatam al-Nabiyyin, which is often translated as the seal of the prophets, which could also mean the best of the prophets. No, over here in the very clean, simple letters of the Arabic language, it is Khatim al-Nabiyyin, with the kasra over the ta. This, if you look in any Arabic dictionary, which I'll show you in just a minute, is the meaning of this is the end of the prophets, the finish of the prophets, the last of the prophets, not the best of the prophets or the grandest or the greatest of the prophets. No, clearly by this riwayah of the Quran, by this narration of the Quran is saying that he is the end of the prophets, Khatiman Nabiyyin. So the Quran has clearly already ruled out any possibility of there being any prophet, be it Sai Baba or be it Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Both of these two have been ruled out as being prophets from the get-go, because the Quran says there can be no prophets after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by this ayah. I have one more thing to show you, and then I'm going to call it quits. Okay, so back to me, but let me show you something interesting. It's actually from a dictionary that I have. This is right here, Mawrid, Arabic to English and English to Arabic dictionary. So if you open it up to the Kha section, right over here, you will see in the dictionary, let me fix the focus here, the word khatam, right, as the Ahmadis, as is in most musahif, right? And how is it translated here? As a ring finger, or in this case, this is actually the Ahmadis use this to mean the best, the greatest, because the Prophet is like a ring. Now, if you scroll down over here to khatima, what does that translate to? This is what was in the Quran by the recitation from Warsh. How does it translate to? It translates to end, termination, close, closure, conclusion, wind up, finish, last part, final stage, finale. In other words, very clearly, this word means end or termination of some sort. So when the Quran, by the riwayah, by the narration, you could say, of Warsh, and it's the same Quran, like I said, when it uses the term Khatim al-Nabiyyin, it means that he is the end of the prophets, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the end of the prophets. There can be no more prophets after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anyone who claims to be a prophet after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a liar, is upon falsehood. And this includes Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. He is not the prophet of Allah. No. He's a charlatan, someone who claimed to be a prophet and who is not a prophet. And he has created this religion, Ahmadiyya, which is a path of misguidance. And this is why it has been branded, it is upon beliefs of kufr, and it is something that we, as Muslims, we should avoid, and we should come back to Islam, stick to the Islam, which has been practiced for the last 1428 years. So, like I said, one more time, this is a call and an invitation for Ahmadis to come back to Islam, to come back to the Islam which is from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the Sahaba, the followers of the Prophet, from the righteous predecessors who came afterwards, and for the last 1428 years. I want to end with this ayah from Surah Ahzab, Surah Al-Isra, وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَحَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. That indeed truth has come, or say that truth has come, and falsehood will vanish, because by its nature, falsehood is bound to perish. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
ما كان محمد نبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.